doing this sort of thing, and I've really enjoyed it. Because I felt very relaxed and had a nice time and talked to you. And it's such a I've enjoyed writing the book, and I'm now enjoying talking to people about it. And I even got to talk to very nice people in a radio station for American truckers based down in Louisiana, and I had no idea there'd be a radio station for truckers, and yet they were producing all sorts of exciting radio programs, and it always surprised me how different our countries are, very different, and yet and you think, well, America's very, but they do things. Everything's done in a different way. We have the BBC. You have lots of independent radio stations and independent people, and it's great to see how that interest in the world surviving in all these different sources and these people working around different parts of the world. I've really enjoyed that.
But we both use the English system of measurement, although you're starting to switch over, aren't you? Or
yeah, we're sort of halfway in between. But my editor forced me to use feet and yards and things, whereas half the time in Britain we use meters and centigrade and things, but in America and in Europe they use entirely metric. So we're always halfway between Europe and America, and that's our job, to be in between, I think.
Yeah, this mallet there that I showed is in inches, of course.
Oh, brilliant! Excellent. So in England we still think of our height in feet and inches, even though everything else is in meters. And we think of our weight in imperial units, but we think of them in stone. Whereas you talk in pounds. So I'm 13 stone. We'd say that's 100 and something or other pounds. But so we're linked, but also separated by a common language, because I'm not sure if people mean the same thing when you're talking, using slightly different words for the same thing. We talk about pavements, you talk about sidewalks. All these things are slightly different.
Yeah, absolutely. But we say yard, you say garden.
yes. If you have you can have a backyard. That implies there's nothing green in it, and that you're living in a high density urban area. So once I had a yard when I was living in a sort of terraced house near the centre of York, but we've got a nice garden now.
And so also you use terms more like,
There you can.
Oh, you also use terms more like, attached house, semi-detached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure what your equivalents are in America. So we have terrace.
I'm not really sure.
No, we have. I live in a semi-detached now. Most common house in Britain.
I like it, the way in Keeping Up Appearances she always talks about. It's a semi-detached house.
It's very funny. That's a great comedy.
We're not common like Onslow.
Oh dear, so funny. Well, I better call off now. I'm on cooking duty tonight. I'm due to cook a curry, I think, tonight.
Okay, very nice.